Yeah, so welcome to Space Oats Live, a Star Wars podcast. I am the crucial crew member, Jay. Uh, we got a lot to talk about, a lot of Star Wars to talk about. So hope everybody is having a great week. Um, it's been a really great week for me. Hello, how you doing, Ben? Nice of you to join me. Had a really fun Hutong's Day yesterday. It was great. Spent time with some great friends at Hollywood Studios pretty much all day. Um, and met some new people, which is great because that's what it's all about, meeting some new Star Wars connections, friends from all over, and it's always wonderful to do that. And we basically went from, well, I got there at I guess 11, and met up with everybody, of course, over some Ronto wraps. And yeah, we rode Rise of the Resistance, we rode Smuggler's Run. It's always great to have big groups. We had some first time riders, which was really great to be able to have that. We went to Oga's. In fact, I think all of us, a lot of us hit Oga's, I think 3 times yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We pretty much closed it down at night, which was great. Had a lot of fun with that. And yeah, just shared some laughs, shared some Ronto wraps, shared some cocktails, all in Batu all day long. And it's always great fun to do that. Um, always a pleasure. Um, so yeah, so that was a great day yesterday. Great day yesterday. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this thing going because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, the reason why I have the Empire Strikes Back Special Edition poster up, there's a big reason for that. Because not long ago in this galaxy, which that's a thing that I always do, right? I do that every day for the most part, either by a post or a live stream. If I'm heading to work, I usually do that as a live stream. But February 14th, 1997, the year 1997, that's when they released all three special editions in the theaters, which was great to see Star Wars on the full screen. That was my first time seeing The Empire Strikes Back on the full screen, at least that I remember, because I think I was taken to the theater at some point. Which, by the way, I'm actually watching Empire Strikes Back right now, so I'm queuing that up real quick. Just bear with me 1 minute. I forgot to press play. Let's see if technology works with Disney Springs. Disney Springs, Disney Plus, because technology is not my friend tonight. Hopefully, I have the volume down. I think I do. Yep. 20th Century Fox logo coming up. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. All right. So, gotta have that on. But yeah, The Empire Strikes Back Special Edition premiered um, today in 1997, which I did not realize that it was on Valentine's Day. I didn't realize that. Um, that was really weird. But I mean, if you were to consider any of the OG movies, if you were to consider one a love story, Empire Strikes Back had a love story in it, right? Han and Leia. So yeah, what a great time to do that. So January was the release of A New Hope, February, and then March, Return of the Jedi, I believe, was the three releases. One a month was the release in theaters, and they were in theaters for about a month. So, but yes, Empire Strikes Back Special Edition had its premiere. Of course, we had a lot of changes. I think out of all three movies, for the most part, the changes that I liked the most were done to The Empire Strikes Back. Specifically, it was just the quality of the film, the way it looked, especially with Hoth. You didn't get that bleed through with the snow speeders, which you did in the old ones. The whites just got brighter, the blacks just got darker. Um, the movie just popped on the screen with the special editions, with that re-digitalizing the film and just that cleaner, crisper look. And I thought they did a really great job with the Empire Strikes Back Special Edition. Matter of fact, I believe the poster behind me was the Yeah, that was one of the promotional posters for when the actually, and I swap it out. I'll have my C3PO R2D2, which was the promotional poster for Star Wars, and then this one for The Empire Strikes Back. I never got the Return of the Jedi one, which was Wicket the Ewok. But so this one was the Yoda one. They were through Pizza Hut. You could get them. I think it was Pizza Hut and maybe some others, but maybe just Pizza Hut. Yeah, it may have just been Pizza Hut that it was released. It says Pizza Hut on the bottom corner, and you can get them through Pizza Hut. I think it was you had to buy them, but it was like very cheap when you bought them through Pizza Hut with whatever your order was. So, but yeah, that was part of the promotion for The Empire Strikes Back was through Pizza Hut, and they did a lot of other promotional items as well. But yeah, so and I mean I was in line. I did the whole camping out for tickets overnight with friends and lots of Star Wars fans. I wish I would have kept up a lot of those connections that I made, but at that day and age, email was like really the only thing, and we didn't really have like cell phones with instant message and text and social media. It really wasn't a thing then, so it was really hard to keep in touch with people unless you just kept up emailing each other. So there really wasn't a lot of conventions going on. No Star Wars celebrations at that time, I don't think. But I didn't go to any of those at that time anyway. But yeah, so not long ago in this galaxy, February 14th, 1997, Empire Strikes Back special edition premiere. Some of the other differences, one of the differences that a lot of people didn't like, and I still don't like this one, is I guess, I don't know why they changed it. Droids' Rights is why they changed it. Was when R2 gets spit out by the creature in the Dagobah swamp, and Luke gets up to him and he says, originally he says, "You're lucky you don't taste very good." Of course, they changed the line to "You're lucky you got out of there." So I guess all the Droids' Rights activists, had a point in getting that line changed. I mean, that's the only reason, right? So that was one of the things I was like, oh, why did they do that? But some of my other favorite things that they did was at the end, kind of the cut scenes with Darth Vader getting on his shuttle and the shuttle flying to the Star Destroyer. I think it just made the ending just kind of like have a little bit more good flow. And Cloud City itself, again, the digital backgrounds of Cloud City, making Cloud City look more like a city, was something else that I really enjoyed. So out of all three films, I think the special edition of Empire Strikes Back is my favorite as far as the changes with the quality. It didn't really mess anything up from what I really liked from the originals, because Star Wars had that thing with the adding of the Jabba the Hutt scene, which was really cool, but Jabba the Hutt just didn't really look like he fit because of what we knew Jabba to look like in Return of the Jedi. He just didn't look the same. It was a cool scene to add, but I just really wish that the quality of Jabba was a little bit better. I wish they would actually go back and retouch that up. I think that would be something that they could do easily and make Jabba look a lot better. And just throw that on Disney Plus. Change that out. They should have did that with the 4K release, honestly. And then Return of the Jedi, obviously, the changes with the songs at Jabba Palace, changes in the songs at the end. A lot of controversy over that, as far as which is better. And there's good and there's bad, but I'm okay with it. But I'm for the OG for that. And I think it's because of Return of the Jedi I grew up with. That was my first film that I actually saw. So there's a lot of I really didn't want that to get changed. But yeah, that happened not long ago in this galaxy. The Empire Strikes Back getting released today in 1997 special edition. So yeah. So speaking of releases and movies, we have another anniversary year for another Star Wars film, that being Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So 25 years this year, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace came out. And yeah, so we got this 25-year anniversary. May the 3rd is the official returning to theater. And look at this beautiful new poster. Matt Ferguson created this new poster. It hits very well to the original, but it's got just a different flavor to it. I like the darker tone to it, and I love how, if you watch the teaser trailer of episode 1, all of us in anticipation for the new saga that was going to appear. If you saw the teaser trailer, those were the first words of the teaser trailer, was every saga has a beginning, which was, and it's a great poster. So hoping to get maybe my hands on this one. I don't know. I just don't have a place to put all these posters, but if I get my hands on it, I get my hands on it. But returning to theater May the 3rd. So originally released May the 19th, 1999. So a little bit earlier, May the 3rd, I guess, to coincide with that May the 4th weekend, to celebrate Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. And also, kind of all the way through Revenge of the 5th. So pretty cool that, Darth Maul in that one, Darth Sidious, rising up with that movie, and just a really great, going back on it now, I love that film a lot more than I used to when it first came out, even though I saw it like 20 sometimes when it first came out. But yeah, so there's some really cool stuff on StarWars.com with the history of the Phantom Menace, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of merchandise for the 25th. I think that's already started showing up in like Disney parks. I'm not really like into any of the stuff that's gotten released yet, but I know going forward, even on May the 4th weekend, we're probably going to get a lot of Phantom Menace May the 4th merch, most likely. So looking forward to that. And can't wait to see, what theaters are going to have it. I checked the other day and I didn't see anything as of yet announced, but I really hope that we see that. So yeah, I totally agree, Ben. Great poster. Really amazing. I think they even have like a little trailer spot for Phantom Menace returning, or the 25th anniversary. There's also a little article with Matt Ferguson on the poster that he created, and little article on that, and how that creation came about. So you can read that article on StarWars.com. We also have something else getting released in only a week, and that being Bad Batch Season 3. Bad Batch Season 3, February the 21st, getting released. The final season of the Bad Batch. So Bad Batch only having 3 seasons. Can't wait to. I kind of want. I started watching some of the episodes, just kind of refreshing my mind with some things with the Bad Batch. But obviously, we know that that there's a lot of stuff to tie up with this one. So a lot of speculation on what's going to happen with what we saw in the trailer, because we saw a lot of stuff in the trailer. Looks to be like Crosshair possibly comes back into the Bad Batch. There's some speculation that Tech is still alive and kind of being used by the Empire. I don't know how I feel about that. I do like the fact that Crosshair will maybe come back in the end. Either come back and be with the Bad Batch, or come back and sacrifice himself, possibly to save Omega. Is another thing that I would like to see happen. And my audio, it is on. Okay, good. Just wasn't sure if I kept seeing it. I'm sure somebody would have said something by now, but it's been a weird start to this podcast. Don't go back to the beginning, please. Anybody that watches this from the beginning, I don't know what I was saying, but I was so frustrated with this thing starting. I really got to edit this almost immediately afterwards and cut that out, because yeah, it did drop a little bit of not so nice words. Let's just say that. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, basically, right now we have Hunter, Wrecker, Echo, and Omega. Rex kind of popping in there as well. So maybe, he's kind of like joining the Bad Batch, maybe a little bit in this one. And then, of course, Tech. Don't know what's going to, if he's coming back or not, don't know. I do have a feeling that Crosshair is going to, join back with the team and help them out. This has got to be. And then, of course, Omega. And then we know that Asajj Ventress, you see her coming back, not as a Sith, as a mercenary with her yellow lightsaber blades. And then, we're going to figure out what's going on there. In the end, what's going on. Karabast. Karabast to what? I didn't say that. I wish I would have said that. I would have kept everything up if I'd have said that. But yeah, definitely didn't say Karabast. Yeah, so there's just so many like different stories that I'm curious how they're going to wrap some of this up. So Fee as well, she's back. We saw her in the trailer. The senator from Pantora, which was in the Clone Wars, and then popped up with like the clone rights. So interesting to see where she might be. Nala Se, the Kaminoan chief medical scientist. What's going to happen to Nala Se. AZ, obviously part of the crew. That had his debut in Clone Wars as well. So love to see characters, droids get like a story that continues in a bigger way. Mayday, one of the Republic soldiers that's going to be back. Vice Admiral Rampart obviously is the main antagonist, kind of, I guess you would say. Him and Dr. Hemlock. So we're going to see a lot of them. We also saw Cad Bane in the trailer. So cool to see Cad Bane come back a little bit. And Fennec Shand also in the trailer. Wonder if maybe Hera and Chopper are going to make another appearance, because we did have that little spin-off. Maybe that'll be a story with them helping out again. Also wonder if Gungi's going to come back, the Wookiee Jedi that they saved and returned to Kashyyyk. Who else? Wonder if Gregor, because we have Rex. Wonder if like Wolf and Gregor were they were the other two in Rebels, right? Wolf and Gregor and Rex on that planet. So you wonder if like we're gonna see kind of Rex head into that where he's off and going until we see him in Rebels. We had some appearances from Krennic in the last season. Who knows if that's going to happen again? Saw Gerrera as well. Maybe Saul might show up. Tanwi Lamasu. Commander Cody. Wonder if Cody's going to come back. And then we've seen like Masamita show up. So yeah, so there's just so many things happening. So many questions that we have left to answer. Really looking forward to it. We only got 1 week to go. One of the biggest questions probably is Emery Carr, which is the other clone, like the clone scientist that is kind of like the alpha clone almost, you think? Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. thinking she's like the alpha clone, and Omega's like the last, and you know they are the two that are there. I just have this feeling she's gonna like turn and help in the end. So, but interesting to see how that comes about. She was basically created from the same genetic template of Django, like the first, and Omega was the last. So at least that's what it seems like. But well, you know what's going to happen with Mount Tannis? You know, how's that all going to play out with Crosshair, Omega imprisoned there? How much time has gone by? It's another really interesting question. You know, how long have they been there until the rescue actually happens? So that'll be interesting to find out as well. But yeah, season 3 premieres with a 3-episode premiere. Remember, 3 episodes. So I'm guessing like an hour and a half next Wednesday, February the 21st, right? Next Wednesday. Today's the 14th. Next Wednesday. Are they gonna at the last minute pull this and drop it on Tuesday night like they've done a couple times with some other things? I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get closer if they decide to do that at the last minute. It'd be really cool if they like. I was hoping for like a drop in the theaters because I would go an hour and a half and watch The Bad Batch in the theaters. That would be amazing if they would have did that. The first 3 episodes in the theaters. That would have been amazing. But I don't know. Who knows? There might be some surprises with that. We'll have to see. Speaking of premieres, if anybody else watched it, I did today. This is what I did today. I watched the final episodes of the Young Jedi Adventures, which was so much fun. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I do have to say that they did a really good job at bringing back some characters that they've introduced. Because if you haven't watched this, there's been some characters from the High Republic. There's been a lot of tie-ins to the High Republic with Starlight Beacon, and some other characters. And I really love how they kind of brought them all back in the end. In that last episode, going to Starlight Beacon for basically the inauguration ceremony of Starlight Beacon. So kind of like where the High Republic series kind of kicked off, you know? So it's really cool to be able to kind of see how it's like tying all together. And I love that. It's just really great. Tamor the pirate, we find out who he is, which we haven't met him until these last episodes have dropped. So 3 episodes of Young Jedi, episode 15, way behind. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So like I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but you do find out who Tabor is, the pirate, but you don't know, you have not met him yet. He's actually in the last episodes, and you find out who he is. So, and I probably did give it away, but you'll probably realize it when you start watching the episodes. It's they go to Batu. That was the other thing. They go to Black Spire Outpost. You get to see familiar sights, basically. So, of course, this is during the High Republic. So Oga's Cantina is not Oga's Cantina. It's the Cantina, but it's not Oga's Cantina. But the milk stand is still there. The milk stand's been going on for years, all the way since the High Republic. Milk stand's been a thing. Got a lot of history in the milk stand. But yeah, really cool, fun adventures on Black Spire Outpost and on Batu. You learn a little bit about some other history from Batu, which is really cool. You know what? If they ever did like another overlay of Galaxy's Edge, I would like to see it go back but they'd have to like remove some of the hints of things because a lot of the hidden Easter eggs are from the OG films and everything, and you'd have to totally redo Doc Ondars and everything. So, taking out a lot of the stuff in there. So I don't think they'd ever do an overlay from the High Republic era in Batu, but maybe they could do one in the park, like one in one park, one in the other, make one High Republic era, one in like post, or sequel trilogy era. That might be pretty cool. I don't know. I always think about it. I know they like to mimic and keep things the same at every Disney park. But even though I know that I probably wouldn't be able to get to the other ones a lot, I think that would be a cool idea. I think it would make people want to try to get to the other parks more if they made them different. Because I mean, I didn't even really care about going into Galaxy's Edge when I went to Disneyland. I wanted to spend time on seeing stuff that I've never seen before. So I didn't even step inside Galaxy's Edge when I was there. So I don't know. I probably would have if I known there was plenty of differences. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think? You think they should do that? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, Young Jedi Adventures. So basically, first season done. I believe it's been renewed for another season. I think it's worth it. It's won some great awards. I think it's well deserved. I think it has a future in Star Wars or in Disney Junior series. Speaking of the High Republic era, there is a new novel coming out in the High Republic series, and that is going to be coming out June 11th, and it's Star Wars The High Republic Temptation of the Force. And we see the return of Jedi Masters Avar Kriss and Elzar Mann as pictured here. So if you're a fan of the High Republic, June 11th, you can pre-order it now. It'll be interesting. We are going back to West in September. Yeah, I mean they do have and I found this out afterwards. I would have gone had I known this. They do have different food options and different drink options in Docking Bay and Dock Ondars, and possibly some of the other snacks maybe around Batu. I don't know the exact, but I know that they have some differences, and I think we're going to be trying to go back to West as well sometime. It'd be interesting if we go in September too. I'll have to keep that in mind that you guys are going in September. That would be really funny if we're out there at the same time. So that's a thing, and then also the characters. I mean, they got they show Hera shows up, Fennec Shand, Boba Fett, Chopper. Who else has been known to show up there? We got the droids, the little BD droids that have been walking through every now and then. They did the test of those. So you see a lot of different characters there, which is the one cool thing about Disney World West. Disneyland, not Disney World West, Disneyland, is the characters are more active. So, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We haven't even, we just kind of decided, I think, that we're thinking about going in the fall. I don't think we're going to spend much time. I think we're either going to fly into LA and fly out of San Francisco or vice versa, because we want to do a little bit of like Napa Valley stuff as well. Maybe hit some wineries. Possibly, yeah, just do some other things. I don't know. We have other plans. So, and we do have friends that live out there too. So trying to hook up with them while we're there and see them. So, but yeah, I know it's going to be more of a, because last time was Celebration. We just kind of stayed in Disneyland. But this time we want to get out and about a little bit and maybe go up to San Francisco and explore around there as well. So, but yeah, so the High Republic, Temptation of the Force in June. So the cover reveal basically was today. This is basically the cover minus the title. So, but yeah, so that is a lot of what's been going on with some extra Star Wars news. What else? What else is there going on? I'm at the Battle of Hoth right now. I'm watching Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, so anyway, let me stop sharing the screen and get rid of this. I want to put on my other view here as well. I don't know why I have this view on, by the way. But There we go. Anyway, yeah, got my 40th Empire Strikes Back shirt on. Yeah, so Batu was great yesterday. I felt it's so much more fun to go with a group of people that are Star Wars fans, because you can it's just when you're there by yourself, sometimes you're walking around, you get a little bit upset over some things that you see and hear throughout the land, because it's not as immersive as it was. And Oga's Cantina is great. It's amazing. I've gone on some rant and raves about, why it's not my favorite bar on Disney property, because, there's some things going on there. And you walk in and it's just not, the chemists used to be like really, the servers, everybody used to be really immersive with you. It just doesn't have that feel anymore. But when you go as a group, which every time we went in there, we had about 6 people, which was great. Singing along to the songs, yelling and cheering. I think we got everybody kind of hyped, which I don't think would have happened had we not have been there. So people were looking at us, filming us, because we're just these crazy bunch of Star Wars fans in there, which was it's so much fun to be able to do that. And so, like, honestly, my favorite times are going with groups of people. These are my favorite times, going with groups of people. It's gotten less in Oga since the noise control. Does it really do a noise control in there? I've never noticed noise control. Is somebody like? Because I tell you what, they were not doing noise control for us. That was not a thing. The one thing I did notice, and I asked everybody that were there, and I'm not sure if this is a thing or not, it seemed brighter in there than normal. The first time I walked in there yesterday, it seemed like the white lights in the ceiling were brighter. But noise control, I did not feel there was any noise control at all. I felt it was just as loud in there, but I just don't feel like it's just as interactive anymore. And I mean, I did see like one chemist behind the bar that was doing a really good job at, like, usually if you have your image scanner and you ask for someone to take your scan for you, somebody will usually steal your device and kind of walk around and take some video, which there was a guy that did that. It was really cool. Like, I'm going drinking some. And really, is that why they stopped? They are causing them not to encourage it? That is interesting. I have not heard that. I did not know that was officially a thing, which is really sad if that's officially a thing. That's really sad. It's kind of like one of those things where I have a feeling that might come back, because, like, I remember they went through this whole time period at what's the name of the restaurant? At the Wilderness Lodge, the place with the breakfast and the ketchup thing. I can't remember the name of it. But it's the all you can eat place there. Where they went through this thing where they stopped doing, like, the waiters were encouraged not to, like, be, like, mean to the guests, because people didn't get it and they were getting upset. I think even 50's Diner was kind of pulling back on that, because people were getting upset that they were having rude service, which they just didn't get it, was the whole thing. So they were kind of told to, like, pull back on that. But then they got this whole influx of people that went the other route and said, we're not going anymore, because that's why we go. So a lot of the people that longtime guests that kept coming to the restaurants strictly for that experience stopped, and then they brought it back, and now they're encouraged to do that again. So I don't know. Maybe they don't feel that's going to happen to Oga's because it's Star Wars, but that makes me almost not want to go anymore. That makes me mad. That makes me mad. It's those little things that just make it so much fun to go in there. And you know, how much of an immersive experience is it when you don't have that back and forth with the cast and the guests? Um, yeah, that's a disappointing thing to hear. That's a disappointing thing to hear. But what are you gonna do? Maybe you could just stop going to Oga's. But that's just so hard to do because Oga's is a great place. It is fun. It's just not as fun as it used to be. But yeah. So I guess I have like 15 minutes left that I normally do this. I did start a little late, but I'm probably going to end a little early because I really want to go ahead and um, you're the only one yelling. No chemist joined in. So the last time, so besides, what, that is actually an interesting thing because we were yelling really loudly. Some other tables joined in, but I don't remember any of the cast joining in. That is an interest. I'm gonna have to like straight up ask somebody about that. That is an interesting point. I wonder if that's been officially posted anywhere. Because yeah, that, man, I can't. If that's a real thing, that's interesting. But anyway, um, speaking of characters, let's go back to characters here. So we got a lot of stuff releasing. I do my crucial character pick every month, at least twice a month. I haven't done one for Andor yet, so I was thinking about Andor. So, and Andor's got a lot of great characters, a lot of great characters, a lot of great side characters too. And this was really hard to pick, honestly. Um, as far as like a side character that didn't see a lot of screen time. They have been wearing earplugs for a long time, and every day in there, that loud, the music just pumping in there. They've been wearing earplugs for a long time. I think that is kind of encouraged. It may even be mandatory in there, just for protection, because every day having that music that loud and being in a place where you do have a lot of guests talking loud. I'm sure the decibel levels are at a range where it could possibly do damage to your ears over a long amount of time. If they're full time, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, it probably does take a toll on you. So that probably is helping. I have no problem with that. I've seen that probably for more than a year before they stopped playing along with the music. You know what I've noticed besides also that they don't sing anymore is they don't, when the power goes down. I don't even know if they do that anymore, and that's been recent. Honestly, this has all been recent. Like almost like right before your guys' visit, Bennett, that I went and they were singing along. They did the power, disruption, and they, bang on the. All of that was done within the last month. This has all been very recent that all this has changed. But the earplugs, I've noticed the earplugs for a long time. Earplugs I've noticed for a long time. So that may have been a safety thing, which I'm totally cool with that. If they that's going to protect them a little bit better, hey, I'm all for that. That is totally fine. But so going to my crucial character pick of Andor, I was thinking of a side character that I think is the most interesting side character, and I think this one is kind of like a character that we all love to hate kind of character. And this is probably my favorite side story of Andor, which was Mon Mothma's side story. I thought that was. I almost thought that could have been like its own series. Like they could have possibly. I don't know. Maybe they felt like it just couldn't take its own series and they wanted to tie it in. But it's just such a great story with Mon Mothma's character in Andor. And it's one that I'm really looking forward to how it ends up in season 2, because it was a real shocker to see Mon Mothma with a husband and a child, because you never see this husband or child when we first meet Mon Mothma in Return of the Jedi. So something has happened to them, and I wonder if we're going to find out what happens to them. So my crucial character pick for Andor, the man we all love to hate, Mon Mothma's husband, Perrin Furtha. Perrin was outstanding. And he was so just disgusting. And you wanted to hate him, but then you loved to hate him because he was so good. And it was kind of like they have this arranged marriage thing going on. But Perrin was played by Alistair Mackenzie, which I think he did a great job. I'd never seen him in anything else before. I don't really know if he apparently was in The Crown, which I've never really watched The Crown. He's in some Black Mirror episodes, or at least one episode of Black Mirror, which I've watched that, but not much, not very big. But he was great in these episodes, and he showed up a good amount. And I think his story arc is very interesting, and I love the fact that their daughter Lita is more for him. Like, he's almost kind of pulled her to his side of politics. And you see that rift that he's created within the family. And I love just the digging at each other that her and Mon Mothma do throughout the episodes. Just like with the dinner party and her inviting certain people, Slime War for one of them, which was really awesome to be able to see that cameo of that character. But what a fantastic character. And I can't wait to, literally, that's one of the most exciting side stories that I just cannot wait to see how this all plays out in Andor season 2. Like, I almost want to see this play out more than Andor's story. We know where Cassian's going, right? We know where he's going. We know what happens to his character. We don't know what happens to Perrin. Like, we know what happens to Mon Mothma. Why how she kind of gets to that point, what she has to sacrifice, and how that happens. That's the biggest thing on my mind as far as storyline, that I think that left me with so many questions and wanting to know more about that story. So, literally, he is definitely one of my most crucial character picks of Andor, side character wise. I loved his character. He's a populist, all about his image. Yes, he is. He loved the whole fanfare of he just loved the status that he had, and you totally see that he's just all about it. He's so slimy, but so great. What a really well-developed character all around. Whoever, writing that character, the writing of that character, the portrayal of that character, so much that was put into that character is just so amazing. And I cannot wait to see what happens to Perrin Furtha's character. And maybe we get to learn a little bit more of his character. But I can't wait to see his character return. Hopefully, really, they got to return in Andor season 2. We got to know what happens. I think we're going to really get an idea of how Mon Mothma, basically goes full on in with the rebellion. So, can't wait for that. I want to go back and watch. Because I'm pretty sure there was an episode in Rebels where Mon Mothma basically was where she basically left the Senate. So I'm almost thinking that some of Andor season 2 is going to be at the same time as Rebels, which makes me think that we might see some Rebels characters pop up in Andor. Perhaps a Hera cameo, perhaps, who knows? In the later episodes as it's leading up to the Battle of Yavin, we get some crossovers with some Rebel characters and some Andor characters. Because I just have this feeling that either he's going to turn her in or find out, and Mon Mothma is going to have to bolt, which is going to kind of coincide with those episodes in Rebels where Mon Mothma is kind of helped out by the Rebels. So, and then she's basically left the Senate at that time. But yeah, so Perrin Firtha, the character that we all love to hate, my crucial character pick of Andor season 1. And that is it, my friends. That is it. That's all I have for today. I'll be going back to doing not long ago in this galaxy come tomorrow. So join me live on my Instagram page, the Crucial Crew member, where I do that every day around 2:00. We'll be talking about some things that happen in Star Wars history. There's that line. You're lucky you got out of there. Oh my goodness. One of the changes to Empire Strikes Back. Anyway, thank you all for watching, or thank you for, I got somebody else on, I don't know who that was, but hello, and thank you for joining in as well. Ben, thank you for joining in, as always. Appreciate it. For those of you watching later, thank you. Click subscribe. Get those notifications. Join in the live stream. Love it when we have people join in live. Until next time, until next week, I actually am kind of liking this on Wednesday nights, honestly. Especially when people are here on Tuesdays. It gives me some time to just chill and go and hang out with them all the way till the end of the night. So, but like I said, normally I do this on Tuesday nights because I like to keep my Wednesdays just totally free. Kind of get ready for the next day of going to work and all that stuff. But yeah, Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I do this every week. Next week will either be right before or right after Bad Batch season 3, episodes 1 through 3. So it'll either be leading up to, we'll talk about Bad Batch, or if they drop it early, or if I do this Wednesday night, we'll be talking about those episodes. So please watch Bad Batch season 3, episodes 1, 2, and 3 if you want to join in, because I don't want to spoil it for you. So, and I won't. If somebody's watching, somebody's live, and you tell me you haven't watched it yet, I'll just give my overview, my basic, it was an amazing whatever, not spoil it for anybody, but please watch it when it comes out. That way we can talk about it right out of the box, right out of the whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I really want to get at least those 50 subscribers so I can start doing all my live streams on YouTube. But I can't go live like straight away on YouTube unless I have 50 subscribers. It's been so hard to get people to like transfer over to YouTube. Instagram's great, but YouTube I can do so much more. So, but anyway, thank you all. Have a great night. Do yourself a favor. Remember, watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, play some Star Wars, read some Star Wars. And most importantly, may the stars light your way. Have a great week, everyone. See you next time.